Good evening. This is Sarah from the GOFY News Network, broadcasting live from New York on this chilly January 20th, 2026. Tonight, we interrupt our regular programming for a special broadcast, Silver Storm Alert. We're diving deep into the escalating silver squeeze that's shaking global markets and raising alarms about the stability of our banking system. If you've been watching your investments or hearing whispers of a commodity crisis, this is the update you need. Stay tuned, because what started as a niche metal rally could signal turbulent waters ahead for major banks in the coming quarters. First, the bailouts. Ladies and gentlemen, the numbers are staggering. Since late 2025, the Federal Reserve has pumped over $200 billion into the financial system through emergency repo operations and liquidity facilities. That's right, over $200 billion in taxpayer-backed support, with massive infusions like $51 billion on Halloween last year, another $17 billion right after Christmas on December 26th, $34 billion over a single weekend, and a jaw-dropping $74.6 billion around New Year's Eve into 2026. And that's just the federal. Across the Pacific, China's central bank has ballooned its money supply by an equivalent of $48 trillion since late last year, fueling a global commodity grab that's intensifying the pressure. Why all this cash? It's not just routine housekeeping, it's a lifeline for banks drowning in paper losses from massive silver short positions. We're talking about bets gone wrong on a scale that's hard to fathom. Major players like JP Morgan and others are exposed to the tune of 4.4 billion ounces of silver shorts, enough to cover 5.5 years of global mining output. As silver prices rocket to nearly $95 an ounce, up over 200% from last year's lows, these institutions are scrambling to cover, and the Fed stepping in to prevent a meltdown. But here's where it gets structural and scary. This isn't a fleeting glitch. It's a perfect storm brewed over years. Reason 1. Chronic supply deficits. For the 6th straight year, the world is short on silver, with a cumulative gap of 820 million ounces since 2021. Mines are churning out about 813 million ounces annually, but that's no match for exploding industrial demand. Nearly 60% of silver goes into solar panels, electric vehicles, AI data centers, and electronics that power our modern world. Reason 2. Geopolitical fireworks. China's slammed the door on refined silver exports starting January 1st, controlling 60 to 70% of global refining. Add U.S. tariff threats, and you've got metal flooding into American vaults, draining London inventories and creating delivery queues that scream shortage. Reason 3. The paper-physical chasm. While futures markets play with leveraged bets, the real metal is vanishing, lease rates at 8%, backwardation in prices, and physical premiums soaring up to 80% in Asia. COMEX has tripled margins to cool things down, but it's like putting a Band-Aid on a geyser. Looking ahead to the first few quarters of 2026, banks could hit rough seas. If silver climbs to $150 an ounce, a realistic short-term target, losses could balloon to $20 to $50 billion per bank, spiking repo rates and straining overnight lending. Push it to $200 to $300? We could see interbank trust evaporate, echoing 2008's freeze, with hyperinflation risks as the Fed prints more to plug the holes. Confidence in the dollar? It could crack under the weight. This silver squeeze isn't just about shiny metal. It's a warning shot for the entire financial system. Structural imbalances like these don't vanish overnight. Stay vigilant. Monitor COMEX deliveries, lease rates, and China's next moves. If you're invested in silver or banking stocks, buckle up. This is Sarah signing off from GOFY News Network. Remember, knowledge is your best hedge. Good night and stay informed. Sources include market data as of January 20th, 2026.